But the star of Hold the Line, for me, anyway, this is just my opinion, is Bobby Kimball, the lead singer of the song. But I imagine whenever the studio session for Hold the Line went off, he looked at these lyrics and said, I got this here. Y'all cool out. Are we gonna do it live? Even better. I don't know if they did it live or not. But even if they had the backing track, I know he just said, y'all go ahead on the other side of the glass and let me cook. And that's exactly what Bobby Kimball did. He cooked from start to finish. What's good, y'all? Y'all right on time for another ride on the Groove Line, the brand new YouTube show / podcast that's going to be discussing music from the past and the present. My name is Chris Stevens, the host, producer, and founder of the Groove Line. Greatly appreciate y'all for checking out the first 2 episodes. This, of course, is episode number 3. And today I want to talk about a song that got into my head and has not been able to stop playing in my head. Since it is Wednesday, I mean, we might as well just call this Earworm Wednesday. I don't know if that's going to become a series on this channel or not. You never know. But it's Earworm Wednesday, and today's earworm for me is a song from arguably the greatest group of studio musicians ever assembled. Those of you who heard me say that already know which direction this is going in. So I'm not going to waste too much of your time here. These guys have played for countless folks: Aretha Franklin, Michael Jackson, the Pointer Sisters, on and on it goes. Like, if you needed something done in Los Angeles musically in the 70s, these were the guys you called. And they kept running into each other in different sessions and said, well, since we're making hits for other people and we are the A team when it comes to studio musicians and session guys, let's make our own band. Therefore, Toto was born in 1977, and in the fall of 1978, they released their self-titled album, with the lead single coming out in October of 1978 called "Hold the Line." That was written by keyboardist David Paich, who apparently had been pimping since pimping been pimping. He had a bunch of young ladies calling his phone at home, and he was like, "Well, I need to write about this because I'm going to have to make a choice between one of these girls." And talking about, it's not in the way that you hold me. It's not in the way you say you're mine. It's not in the way that you treat my friends. It's not in the way you think, in the things that you say that you'll do. It's like, he's really just like, yeah, it's all of these things that you got going on, but I'm not quite ready to commit. So I need you to hold the line. So also back then, there was no call waiting. So basically, if you wanted to hold the line, you had to hang the phone up and call somebody back and hope the line wasn't busy. So that, I mean, you couldn't even say hold the line from a technological perspective because there was no call waiting in 1978. But this song, there's so much to like about it. There's so much special about it from a standpoint of just the musicianship. Because again, these guys, you had Jeff Porcaro, Steve Porcaro, Steve Lukather. These were like the top of the pops, like top line studio session guys. And just the way everything on that sound on Hold the Line is just so crisp and clear. And you can pick out the bass, you can pick out, the backing guitars, you can pick out the lead piano, the little keyboard in the back that goes, it adds like a dramatic effect to it. And then, of course, you have Luke's guitar solo in the middle. That's just absolutely mind-boggling. But the star of Hold the Line, for me, anyway, this is just my opinion, is Bobby Kimball, the lead singer of the song. Now, Bobby Kimball was Texas-born, Louisiana-raised. He knew all the blues, the Zydeco, all the country down-home stuff that a good Louisiana boy should know. So when I imagine that he had something to prove when they recorded Hold the Line, because I mean, again, these were session guys. This was, and he had, and Bobby had a group beforehand that didn't do very well. So he had already been burned by music industry once. So when he's the lead singer of this new group called Toto, which people just still the name is very much up for debate to this day. Apparently, it just sounded good to remember. Apparently, it's a Spanish phrase for total in totality or whatever. So, but Bobby Kimball stepped in the studio on that night. Maybe it was 1977, maybe it was sometime earlier in 1978. I don't know. You know, the records are not very much accessible, but I imagine whenever the studio session for Hold the Line went off, he looked at these lyrics and said, I got this here. Y'all cool out. Are we gonna do it live? Even better. I don't know if they did it live or not. But even if they had the backing track, I know he just said, y'all go ahead on the other side of the glass and let me cook. And that's exactly what Bobby Kimball did. He cooked from start to finish. Like, there's just the urgency and the passion in his voice that makes that song undeniable. And Toto, of course, went on to have other hits like Rosanna, Georgie Porgy from the same album, which was a little more in the R&B realm. Of course, Side Effect covered that. Eric Benet and Faith Evans covered it. But Hold the Line is, and of course, I bless the rains down in Africa. I still don't understand that song. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't understand it. But it's Toto's biggest hit. But Hold the Line, to me, if you're going to start a new venture, if you're going to start a career as a band and you need something that is going to catch people's attention, this song does it. That opening piano, then Jeff Porcaro on the drums. Jeff Porcaro is the most prolific drummer to ever exist, which is funny because he's been deceased for almost 35 years. But when you think about the amount of stuff that he played on, I mean, he was the joke. The running joke is that on Beat It, which is my favorite Michael Jackson song, by the way. The joke about Jeff Porcaro is they called in a Lindrum and a machine to do the drumming. And of course, Jeff Porcaro was considered the machine because he was that locked in. You know, I mean, I don't think people understand how hard it is to be in concert with a computer instrument, basically. Because I mean, you got the drums, you know, but you still have to have somebody that can, you know, really, you know, just stay in the pocket, stay in the groove, stay on beat, and not speed up the tempo, slow down the tempo. Jeff Porcaro was a beast. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's fair to call him the greatest drummer to ever live, but he was definitely one of the most prolific, hands down. That's not even close. He played on thousands of sessions, not counting the Toto stuff. But yeah, he said in a 1988 interview that he was going for the Greg Errico Hot Fun in the Summertime triplet groove. Which brings me to a point. Sly Stone is responsible for a lot of the music we love today. A lot. Because Sly and the Family Stone, Hot Fun in the Summertime. He wrote that. And yeah, Greg Errico played the drums on it. So yeah, you can hear Sly. I mean, Sly's influence is just ridiculous. But yeah, just hold the Line is one of those songs that just it gets in your head and you can't get out of it. I mean, and you don't want it to leave because I mean it is a song that you can listen to over and over again and never get tired of. That's why I just decided to call this Earworm Wednesday, because it is an earworm. It's just in there. But back to Bobby Kimball's vocals. I don't know how. I just wish we could find out. The unfortunate thing is we can't find out because he was diagnosed with dementia in 2021 and retired from singing. So our best, I remember what dementia did to my grandmother, and it just literally is something that you hate to see happen to someone you love. So I hope, you know, Bobby Kimball's family and friends are surrounding him, you know, making him comfortable, making him feel loved, because I would have loved for him to just give us the background on why he just came to the studio with his metaphorical Johnson on the switchboard and said, I'm going to sing the fuck out of this song. And that's exactly what he did. That is exactly what he did. He literally just said, I'm going to sing this like nobody else has ever sung this song before because it was brand new. And nobody's going to sing it since. You're not going to cover Hold the Line because I'm going to be the only one you remember singing. I know Luke has tried it, and it's not bad. It's not bad. But it ain't Bobby Kimball. It's just not Bobby Kimball. That man went into that studio session that night or that day or that afternoon and said, I got a point to prove here. And man, did he prove it. Just incredible passion, especially at the end. Love isn't always on time. Love isn't always on time. And then he said it again twice. Love isn't always on time. Like he was in a zone. And that's just how good Toto was. When everybody was locked in, you're not going to find a better studio band anywhere. Because, again, these were the best studio session guys in Los Angeles. And they all came together and said, all right, man, we done a lot of stuff for other people. Let's do it for ourselves this time. And that's how Hold the Line came to be this introduction to Toto. Like, hello, we are Toto. You're going to remember us for the rest of this decade and a good first half of the 1980s. We are going to be on Michael Jackson stuff. We're going to do Turn Your Love Around for George Benson. We're going to be everywhere. We're undeniable. That's why we're in totality. We are Toto. We do this. And they did it well. Starting with Hold the Line. Like getting into, still have to get into Toto's catalog in full, but Hold the Line is a damn good start. Like just, I don't know how many lead singles to introduce a band or an artist that stack up, because it's just everybody's full capabilities on display. The keyboards by Steve Porcaro, Jeff Porcaro on the drums, Luke on the lead guitar, and of course, again, Bobby Kimball just singing for his breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Brilliant. Just absolutely brilliant. So Hold the Line. If you haven't listened to it yet, I highly recommend you do. I'll put a Spotify link in the description below. So that's going to do it for this quick little edition of Groove Line. There probably will be another one coming up on Friday. I can't tell you what it is yet, but trust me, it'll be something you'll be enjoying. It's the Friday Five. I'm bringing back the Friday Five. I've only done 2 episodes. Not like I'm bringing anything back. It's just going to keep running. I did a Friday Five before about Johnny Gill, but this Friday Five, I think you guys are going to love. So thank you guys for riding with me on this edition of Groove Line. Watch your step. Be careful when you get off. Thank y'all for joining me. Until the next time we speak, y'all be good or be good at it.